7th of March, Rabbi Levitt, Pele Yoetz.
Okay, so we have a very interesting he's got a question about a pasuk in Sefer Yecheskel. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines up from the bottom of the Tosus on 70b.
Okay.
Yeah, the first words in the line are Mishar Masiv Matan. So Tosus, that looked like the last 3 lines that we had was basically that was the basic halacha l'maisa that comes out from Tosus in his comments over here, that he says that the minig is and the psak halacha is that it's mutter for a Jew to charge ribis on a loan that he gives to a non-Jew. And he said even according to both versions of the Gemara, both versions of the story of Rav Huna. Okay, so now he turns to a interesting question. Well, let's try to understand his question. Vim Toimar, everybody have the place?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, Vim Tomar. Vim Tomar, Kaven the ribis akum shari. Idach lishna. Okay, for some reason Tosus is saying since it's undoubtedly the case that the charge ribis, for a Jew to charge ribis to a non-Jew is permissible without any question according to the second lashon. Li'idach means the second one. Lama lo chaye oso shehilva beribis b'mesim. Why shechia Yecheskel b'bikas Dora? Right, there's a mice over there in Sefer Yecheskel with the Tosafot doesn't actually tell us where the pasuk is. Doesn't tell us, but he just says that there was a mice over there where Yecheskel was not mechaye that person who was malva beribis. Lama lo chaya oso shehilba beribis. B'meisim shechia Yecheskel. B'bikas Dora. Kida Omar b'targum Yerushalmi. Shel v'havi kad sholach paro. So okay. Now the question over here is who are these Mesim? Who are these Mesim that Yecheskel Hanavi was Machaye Mesim upon? Altogether, who were they? You have anything in your notes about who they were? Oh, you probably don't have anything about Tosas altogether. Okay. All right. Let me see something.
I'm totally lost. I don't know what Mason you're talking about.
Okay, so yeah, that's the other problem over here. Tosis doesn't give us too very much information over here about this episode. He doesn't quote us a pasuk where in Sefer Yechezkel this happened. I'm just looking right now. In the back of my Gemara, if we could find something about this episode, I would imagine that we would be able to, that they go into this. Hmm. Wow. This is very, very surprising. Maybe they don't know anything about it either. No. They've got to go into this. Okay. Okay, I'm going to just give this another minute before I give up, and we'll just go on. Just looking for some background information over here. Can't believe that they're not going to talk about this. Okay, well, I guess I'm not looking in the right place. That must be what it is, because positive that they're going to have to go into this. Fine. Okay, so like this. Okay, let's stop waste. That's not a waste of time, but can't find anything, so let's just go on with Tosus. So, okay, so again, Vim Tamar, Kevan the Ribis Akum Shari Leidach Lishna. Since Ribis Akum is permissible, meaning that it is permissible to give a loan to a non-Jew and charge him ribis, according to the second Lishna of the Gemara, meaning we don't have any prohibition against making a loan to the goy, because according to Rav Huna, who says in the first lashon that it's usher to loan to either Shlomo Melech or Chazal or somebody ushered giving a loan to a goy because of Shem Yildim Masehem. According to the second Lishna, there's no such thing. It's totally permissible. So according to that Lishna, asks Tosus, so then he's asking a question from a Maisa in Yechezkel. Lama lo chia also shehilva beribis. B'meisim shechia Yechezkel. In the Meisim that Yechezkel performed Chias Meisim upon, the Bika's Dora, in the valley of Dora, why was it that he did not bring back to life the one who was a Malva Beribis? Also, it sounds like there was some a person who was known that he was Malva Beribis, and Yecheskel was not Machaya him. And Tosa says, Kida Amar Batargum Yerushalmi. And this is in the Targum Yerushalmi, says Tosas. V'havi kad sholach paro. That sounds like the lashon of the Targum. It's Aramaic that Tosas is referring to when Paro sent. When Paro sent, who did he send? When was this that he sent? Referring to the Jewish people. Not too very clear. Okay. Ein Taurus Shlomo, Parshas B'Shalach, Os Reish Nun Aleph, Targum Yerushalmi. Okay, so I don't have this Targum Yerushalmi in front of me at the moment, nor do I have even a Sefer Yecheskel in front of me to take a look at this Maaseh with Bikas Doro, but we'll take Tosas' word for it. That's what Tosas said what happened. And so therefore he's got a kasha. L'chora, the kasha is, what did this guy do wrong? What's difficult to understand is that who was this person and who was it that he gave the loan to? Because Tosas is talking about in our sugya is talking about the Jews lending ribbis to non-Jews. So who was this person that Yecheskel was talking about over here? And who did he lend the money to? Who did he charge the ribbis from? And so that's not clear from the question. And let's just take a look at the answer, what Tosas says. Tosas says, V'yesh loymar d'shema b'nei Noach hayu muzharin al haribis kamo shehuzharu al hagezel. Tosas answers that perhaps B'nai Noach were commanded in the Issa Ribbis to not lend with ribbis, to not pay ribbis. Kamoshu's haru ala gezel, just like they're commanded not to do gezel. Okay, so this is also not entirely clear why is Tosas bringing up B'nai Noach for? One possibility is, like I was thinking to say, that he's talking about the. I mean, who is the people that Yecheskel was Machaya? Were they Jews or were they not Jews? It sounds over here that if Tosas is answer, he's talking about whether non-Jews were commanded in the Issa Ribbis. So it sounds like so that would sound like this person who was a Malva Beribis, that Yecheskel was not Machaya, was a non-Jew. So we're missing information over here about the whole masa of Yecheskel. Let's see. Just thinking right now, I have sefer here that has a bit of information about Yecheskel. Okay, Yecheskel. Machaya Mesim, Basha Shehipil Nebuchadnezzar Harasha, Es Hananya Mishael Bazaria, Bekivshana Eish, Amarlo, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Yecheskel Lech, Bechia Mesim, Babika Space Dora. Oh. Okay, this is a Gemara in Sanhedrin. Sadi Base, Ahmed Base. So the Gemara says over there, at the time that Nebuchadnezzar, who was the Melech Bavel, that was responsible for the destruction of Bayis Rishon, first Beis Hamikdash. So at the time that Nebuchadnezzar threw in the three tzaddikim of Klal Yisrael, Hananiah, Mishael, Azariah, the Kivshana Eish, he threw them into a basically a furnace built deep in the ground, similar to the same episode which happened with Nimrod, when Nimrod threw Avram Avinu into Kivshana Eish. So Nebuchadnezzar did the same thing to Mishael, Hananiah, Azariah. Why did he do that? Because this Nebuchadnezzar, he set up a pesel, a getchka to Avodah Zorah, and he required everyone to bow down to it. And these three Jews, that they were they refused. And actually, the story goes that they asked Yecheskel what they should do. Is Hashem going to save them if they go in? If they don't bow down to the pesel, is Hashem going to save them from the Kivshan Eish? And Hashem told Yecheskel to tell them, don't tell them that I'm going to save them. Tell them no. So he told them no. And they nevertheless said, Beseder Gomor, we're prepared to bow down anyway and be thrown into Kivshana Eish. Anyway, that's another story. But over here, what the story is about Yecheskel. And at this time that this was happening, now, as a matter of fact, also, you should know, this episode took place during, obviously, between the Churban Bayis Rishon and the Binyan Bayis Sheni, which there was a 70-year period, which was also the same time that the episode of Purim took place. So this is also something which is in the background of the whole Purim story as well. This is a time when the Beis Mikdash was laying in ruins, and the Jews were exiled, and Nebuchadnezzar was still the ruler. So it was before the Achashverosh and Daryovish overthrew Belshazzar. Okay, in any case. So, Amar Kodesh Baruch Hu Yecheskel. Hashem says to Yecheskel, Leich be'echia mesim b'bikas beis Dora. Go to the valley of Beis Dora. That's the name of the place, Beis Dora. and revive the Mesim over there. Kevin Shechia Osan, Bo Patsamos, Batov Huloi, La Oso Russia Alponov. Amama Tivon Shel Elu, Omruloi, Chavrehem Shel Elu, Mechaye Mesim, Bebikas Doro. Okay, so that's the story over there. We want to know who it is that these people were that Hashem told them to go and be Mechaya Mesim to them. Oh, this is in the Gemara over there. If you want to take a look, maybe we could take a look at the Gemara over there in Sanhedrin, Sadi Base, Ahmed Base, 92b, Sanhedrin. This is where the Gemara, I see here the Gemara is going to ask the question itself. Mesim Shechia Yecheskel, Yesh Omrim. Who were they? Oh, well, maybe it's not gonna, let's see. Well, in any case, it's a place to start to look to see what's going on over here.
Sanhedrin,
Yeah, Sanhedrin 92b.
92b. Okay, 1 second. Aye.
It says that it's Ezekiel 37, 11 to 14 is where it's discussed.
Okay.
92B where?
It's on the first 92b1 right-hand column. Actually, the left-hand column, the bottom says, Gemara asks.
92B1. Sanhedrin.
Allah Yad Hashem Yotziani Baruch Hashem Yanicheni B'toch Habika V'hi Malaya Atzamos.
Well, we're going to answer. Left hand, right. How can this Tana say that the resurrected righteous will not return to dust?
Mayhem Soviv Soviv V'hine Rabos Ma'od Al Pnei Habika V'hine Yaveshu Ma'od V'hi V'ni Basi Kasher Tzira.
Okay, so Rabbi Yehuda ben Becerra said, I am one of the descendants of those people who were resurrected.
מאוד עושה מסים שקמו לתחייה חזרו ומסו, שהרי אנו רואים שאינם חיים עמנו היום.
Rabbi said that they were the Shevet Ephraim.
These are the tefillin that my father's father left me from them. So he was his grandson.
Right, he's saying that his grandfather was one of the people who were resurrected, and his grandfather had tefillin.
Ephraim.
Implies he's Jewish.
ספר צדיק שהיו בגולוס מצרים, ומונו לקיץ, שהציס מצרים בתוהו. Oh, so actually, this was from like you say, Elu b'nei Ephraim. They were from Shevet Ephraim, according to this is what Rab says. And what happened over there? Monulacates, they made a calculation about the Kates. When was going to be the end? The end of Shibud Mitzrayim. But and they made a mistake in their calculation, and they somehow were able to get out of Mitzrayim before Klal Yisrael actually went out of Mitzrayim. With the whole story, what we say on the Leila Seder, with at that time they went out. I don't know how many years before that, but and so what happened to them? He quotes a pasuk in Divrei Hayomim. V'hargum anshe Gat hanolodim ba'aretz uksiv Isabel Ephraim avihem Yomim Rabim Yavo Echav L'Nachamo. So they were from Shevet Ephraim, who left before. This was before Yetzias Mitzrayim. This was before Matan Torah, and so therefore they were. You had these Mesim that had been, and Yecheskel, of course, he is he's a good 200, between 200 and 350 years into Bias Rishon. So this is about 400 or 500 years that these Mesim, since they were murdered. So Yecheskel was Machayed these Mesim from Shevet Ephraim approximately 500 years after they had been had died. Now the matter of this person who was a Malva Beribis, I don't know if anything in the Gemara here in Sanhedrin mentions anything about that. Tosfos doesn't quote the Gemara in Sanhedrin at all. He refers to a Targum Yerushalmi. So
in 13 minutes.
Yeah, it's hard to know. It's hard to know really what exactly is the who and it seems to be that in the Gemara here in Sanhedrin, there's different opinions. It's not apparently not clear at all from the psukim in Yecheskel who it is that these Mesim were. The Gemara here, this that we said about that they were descendants of Ephraim, that's just the opinion of Rav. For example, Shmuel says, "Elu b'nei Adam kafru b'tchias hamesim." That these dry bones that Yecheskel was brought back to life, they were doesn't say that they were Bnei Ephraim. They were people that were in fact kofar in Tchias HaMesim.
Can a non-Jew be a kofar?
Yeah, a kofar is yes.
So since it says Bnei Adam, maybe they're not Jewish.
Well, I don't know about that. It would seem to me that it would seem to me that if they were non-Jews, it would be more explicit in the. In other words, that if they were non-Jews, to describe them as being people that are kofar b'tchias hamesim would seem to be focusing on a detail about who it was that they were. It sounds like they were people that were essentially shomer Torah mitzvahs, but they were not. They did not have the proper emuna in the foundational principle of Tchias HaMesim. That's what they were kofrim. If they were just non-Jews, you would just say that they were kofrim, or they were non-Jews. You could much more than saying that they were simply kofrim in Tchias HaMesim. Oh, and then the Gemara continues that this is what Yechezkel said. The Yomer Eli ben Adam Hatzamos Ha'ela Kol Beis Yisrael Hema. Hine Omrim Yovshu Atzmosenu V'Avdu Tikvasenu Igzarnu Lanu. Sounds like Yechezkel is saying that they are from Beis Yisrael. Hatzamos ha'ela kol Beis Yisrael hema. These bones are from the house of the entire house of Israel. Let's see what Rashi said over here. Dibra Maskap Atsamos. Rashi says over here, Afsha kofer b'tchias hamesim ein lo chelik l'olam haba. Even though the one who denies the foundation of Judaism that there is tchias hamesim, he has no chelik l'olam haba. Mitzad adin lo hayu mesim elu ru'uyim lakum l'tchiyah. And therefore, according to the strict letter of the law, these mesim they wouldn't have been fitting for revival from death. Mikomakom hekimu makadosh baruch hu. Nevertheless, Hashem gave Yechezkel the ability to revive them. Kedei latet simon l'kol Yisrael al tchias hamesim, in order to instill within the Jewish people an emunah in tchias hamesim. That just like Yechezkel is able to do this, of course, because of Hashem gave him the power to do so. So too there will be a tchias hamesim, le'asad lavo, of all the mesim. All the mesim that are roy, I guess, and we hope that all of them are. Bezrat Hashem, halavai. So in any case, yeah. So this is what happened over there. So you can see the psukim in Yechezkel also, and this Gemara in Sanhedrin. But Tostos is quoting a Targum Yerushalmi that would seem to be indicating that what he's concerned with is the Bnei Noach over here. Because Tosfos is saying that Eshlomer the Sheva B'nei Noach Hayu Muzharin al Haribis Kamosh Yuzharu al Gezel. So in order to answer Tosfos' question, which we're not really 100% sure how it is that our sugya has to do anything with non-Jews charging ribbis, Tosfos says, in light of what it says in the Targum Yerushalmi about the episode of Yechezkel, perhaps we could say, says Tosfos Shema, we could say that the Bnei Noach, just like they are undoubtedly muzar in the Isser of Gezel, that is certainly one of the Sheva mitzvahs Bnei Noach. One of the 7 Noachide laws is that they have a prohibition of Gezel. That's one of the Sheva mitzvahs. So too, says Tosfos, maybe perhaps we could say that included in that prohibition of Gezel is also a prohibition of ribbis, some type of prohibition of ribbis, the charging it, paying it. That I'm not because it's not clear to me what Tosfos' question was based upon what he says in Targum Yerushalmi. Doesn't quote the words at all, so it's quite unclear. But some type of an isser in regard to a non-Jew would also apply for, an isser of ribbis, as well as which would, I guess, be some type of an extension of the isser of Gezel, which is a fascinating idea over here. We see, you know what we're seeing over here? We're seeing a very fascinating thing. Let me speak this out, because this is one thing that I could say that I remember from my Rebbe in Los Angeles, Rabbi Nachum Sauer Shlita, should be, when we were learning the sugya in Sanhedrin about Sheva mitzvahs B'nai Noach. This is the sugya in Sanhedrin. Strangely enough, on Daf Nun Ches, right? So you won't forget where you can find the sugi over there. It's on Nun Ches for Noach in Sanhedrin. Speaks about all the Sheva mitzvahs b'nei Noach. And what are the Sheva mitzvahs b'nei Noach? What are the 7? Well, one of them is Gezel. One of them is to set up dinim. One of them is avodah zarah. One of them is Birkas Hashem. One of them is Eber Min Achai, right? So we might think to ourselves, so all they have is 7 mitzvahs, right? That's all they got. But you see very clearly over here from what Tosas is saying, that Tosas understands that when we say gezo, what that means is that's a global gezel over here, which would include an Isseribis, which is a type of gezel. And in fact, I don't remember, unfortunately, who he quoted over here when he was telling us, but he said that there was one or perhaps more of the Meforshim in the Gemara or the Poskim who said that in fact the Bnei Noach are commanded in many mitzvahs, all of Choshen Mishpat, all of the part of the Shulchan Aruch which deals with monetary matters. That would be included in their general prohibition of gezel. Don't steal. Because when you think about it, what is the whole Choshen Mishpat? We've got pages, thousands of pages of commentary of the Choshen Mishpat and all of the various matters of monetary matters discussed over there. And what does it all boil down to? Don't steal. Don't steal money from other people. Even though we've been saying that, what do you mean? You're not stealing when you charge ribis to somebody. You're just charging for the use of your money, right? That's what we said. That's the way we would understand. It's not really called stealing. Just like you rent out a car, you rent out your money, and there's a price for renting out the money. Okay, maybe if you want to do a chesed, you'll lend your car to somebody and you won't charge them money, right? Somebody says, "Let me borrow your car." Well, either you'll say, "Sorry, but no, maybe you should just go and rent your car yourself." You don't want to lend out your car, right? Because there's all sorts of issues of insurance and the insurance company. What if he gets into an accident and blah, blah, blah? Is my insurance going to go up and all this type of stuff? And so it's not so common that the people lend their cars out to other people. But whatever. But they just don't want a loss. But if they would lend it out, if they want to do a chesed, they wouldn't charge you for it. They would, if they want to do a chesed, they wouldn't charge you for it. But if they do charge you for it, would you say, "Oh, you're a goslin for charging me to use your car? How come you just don't do a chesed with me?" You'll say, "Okay, fine. It's worth it for me. I need a car, and I'll pay the guy $100 so that I can take his car today." Right? Where's the gezel? Okay, but that's a side point. That's a side point. We know that there is an Isseribis, that there's no doubt there's an Isseribis, one Jew to another Jew. When it comes to money, this is what we say. There's something about money that we say there's an Isseribis, even though in regard to other types of articles, there's nothing wrong with lending out our articles and charging money if that's what you want to do. It's not usher. It's not a chesed. You're not doing a chesed like, not so much of a chesed if you're charging for it. But okay, fine. It's any case. That's a side point. But if we would say, so according to this, it would seem like Tosfos was asking that the people that this one person that he was mechayim mesim to, we have one possibility. One possibility would be he was a non-Jew. and he charged ribbis. And so, how come Yecheskel wasn't Machai Mesim? How come it didn't work, or he didn't choose to be Machai Mesim to the person? I don't know. Because he was Malva Beribis, and it's even for Bnei Noach is Usser, complete Isser. Or another possibility would be, which would make more sense in light of what Tosas is referring to our sugya over here. Our sugya is talking about charging ribbis to a non-Jew. Maybe if for the non-Jew to pay ribbis, even to a Jew also would be forbidden, according to this, what Tosas is saying, that they're commanded in ribbis. Because just like a Jew is commanded not only to not charge ribbis to a fellow Jew, he's also not allowed to pay ribbis to a fellow Jew. And so if a non-Jew would be commanded in Issa ribbis, he would be forbidden to pay back the Jew ribbis, which is very strange, because we're saying over here that the Jew would be allowed to charge him ribbis, but the non-Jew would not be allowed to pay him ribbis, which is also a very strange thing. It's another principle that we run into. There's no such thing as a thing that a Jew is permissible to do and a non-Jew is usher to do. That's also a principle over there in the Gemara in Sanhedrin, in the sugya of Sheva Mitzvahs B'nai Noach.
Wow.
Okay, so that's a little bit about this toast over here. And I see we're out of time, so we'll say goodbye to Meir.
Okay. Have a good
We'll be
day,
back
everyone.
soon, Bezrat Hashem.
Okay.